So you're thinking about moving to Dallas and looking for a new place to live? Well, this video is for you. Today we're going to be diving into how you can snag a brand new house right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. What's up guys, my name is Casey McEwen and I'm your local trusted real estate agent and investor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And if you're finding this channel content on all things Dallas-Fort Worth valuable, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It truly helps out the channel. So Dallas-Fort Worth is pretty much bustling with nearly 800 spots where new houses are being constructed. The builders around here are super busy, crafting between 7,000 to 10,000 homes every few months. That means there are a ton of choices if you're looking to purchase a new build home. But first things first, you have to make the decision and figure out if you're all in for a brand new house or if a previously owned home is something that you would prefer instead. Both options have their perks and downsides, so let me know in the comments below if you would like a video dedicated to new home versus pre-owned homes in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, I personally have built a couple homes here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, as well as purchased a handful of pre-owned homes as well. So I have a ton of experience both with pre-owned and new homes, not just personally what I have done myself, but also all the transactions, which is north of 350 clients that I've helped purchase both new and used. Now think of it like choosing between a fresh off of the lot car or a used car. Brand new homes are untouched and come with a lot of the latest gadgets and energy saving features. So step one is just deciding which path feels right to you. Now, one thing that new build communities are offering right now is a lot of lender incentives, meaning if you use their in-house lender, you'll actually get a significant amount off of the price, but again, you're tied to their lender. Most of the time what new build communities do is they actually increase the sales price knowing that they need to sell at a certain price and have that incentive already baked into the price, but you've got to use their lender to get it. So my suggestion is not to necessarily push people away from a preferred lender. Maybe you have a mortgage broker that you like to use, but it's very difficult for mortgage brokers or your independent lender that you're already using to be able to compete against these new build communities because of how much incentives they have tied to their specific lenders. However, on the flip side, when we're talking about pre-owned homes, we're dealing likely with an individual seller. Now, that individual seller may be in different scenarios or situations in life that will fully dictate what they're comfortable selling the home at. So there may be potential deals on the pre-owned side if you find a seller that is potentially desperate or looking to sell a property that needs a lot of work versus purchasing a new build. You may have a little bit of room for negotiations depending on the builder and depending on the price, but a lot of the, negotiations or credits or opportunities to maybe incentivize you are going to be more tied, as I mentioned before, to their specific lender. Now, next up, you'll want to team up with a local real estate professional. And I think a lot of people get this misconstrued. Even for new construction, having a realtor by your side is an incredibly smart move. Just as a reminder, the person that you're going to meet at the model home works for the builder, not you. Again, I'm going to remind you guys, if you go to a new build community, the person that you're meeting there and speaking to that is actually employed by the builder works for the builder, not for you. It's crucial to have someone that's got your back. Realtors know the ins and outs of the builders in town, the sweet deals that they offer, and can point you to different neighborhoods that you might not necessarily know about. Plus, they're an expert at understanding all of the contract jargon and fighting for your best interests. Now, I know this is not going to be a direct comparison, but if you were going through a divorce, would you show up to court unrepresented or would you hire an attorney? 10 times out of 10, you're going to hire an attorney to look after what is your best interest, and you certainly aren't going to go over to your significant others or your ex's attorney and say, hey, work for me too. To be honest with you, they can't, but that would be foolish. It's the same way, why would you show up to a new build community and essentially work with an individual that doesn't have your best interest at heart? Instead, at the end of the day, they're trying to collect a paycheck and they're trying to do what they're supposed to do, which is get a property sold at their community. Now, if you are someone that's watching this and you are local to the Dallas-Fort Worth area and maybe you own a home or maybe you're looking to purchase a brand new construction home, as I mentioned before, I would love to be able to represent you. I would love to be able to help you, whether it be investing, whether it be selling a home and looking to relocate outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Any and all things real estate when we're talking here in Dallas-Fort Worth. I, again, am a licensed real estate agent here, and I would love to be your realtor. But enough of that sales pitch. Let's move on to step 3. It's time to get pre-approved for a mortgage loan. This step is an absolute must, unless you're obviously paying cash, whether you're buying an existing home or starting from scratch. Getting pre-approved helps you stick to a budget and sometimes unlocks special deals, especially if you use, as I mentioned before, the builder's preferred lender. But it's still wise to shop around and make sure you're not spending more than you absolutely should, because I'm telling you guys, with these high interest rates that we are unfortunately stuck with for the time being, a lot of people are pushing their budget well above what they're actually comfortable spending. All right, with pre-approval in your pocket and a clear budget, step 4 is where the fun begins, and that's house hunting. You'll want to scout out builders whose style and quality match your dream home vision. Take your time and research to find a builder that fits your taste and needs. And I'm telling you guys, a lot of this legwork should be done by your local real estate agent. Now, a lot of people may not see all of the work that real estate agents do, but again, your real estate agent should be doing anything and everything for you, from all of the legwork prior to actually visiting homes to when you actually visit homes, looking at the home itself and speaking about the particular builder that you're visiting, or in this case, if you're looking at pre-owned homes, talking about the particular area and subdivision that you're looking at. And if it's a 50-year-old home, they should definitely be talking about, for instance, cast iron plumbing. Hey, this house has cast iron plumbing and it's at the end of its life. We need to plan accordingly for that replacement, which is going to be a significant cost. If your realtor is not providing you value, find a new real estate agent. Then moving on to step 5, this is where your creativity shines, which is customization. From countertops to flooring and maybe even adding an extra room, this is your chance to make the home truly yours. Just remember, the model home is usually decked out with a ton of upgrades, so keep that in mind when you're budgeting with your new home. Now, one thing that I will say, depending on your price point and depending on the particular builder, you may be able to start from the very, very scratch and pick a particular lot. You get to pick the lot, you get to design everything from start to finish. That's going to be more on the upper end of price points here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, if you're looking on the other side of the spectrum, really for a entry-level home, maybe a D.R. Horton home or a Pulte home, you're not going to have a ton of options. You have the home, and whether or not you like it or not, it's priced at an affordable amount. So the house is essentially whatever you get. They already have it pre-designed in terms of countertops, carpet, flooring, tile, all of that stuff's already predetermined, and you got to decide whether or not the house, the way it is something that you would like. Otherwise, you're SOL. But again, going back to the other side of things, if you're looking at a much higher priced home and looking to build, you very much can find a lot and essentially design the entire house from scratch. Now, step 6 is all about the build. You'll have walkthroughs and inspections to make sure everything is top notch. Your home will be checked by the builder, city inspectors, and before you move in, I highly recommend that you get a third-party inspector to take a peek too. Now, it's normal to find a few things to fix, and the builder should handle every single one of those before you get your keys. Now, me personally, I've helped a ton of people purchase new build homes here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and not a single time has anyone chose not to get a third-party inspection. And if you want some clarity and decision whether or not it makes sense for you to pay that $400, just hop on maybe Google or Reddit and look at just how many horrible experiences people have when they don't get an inspection on a brand new home. And here we are, step 7. You've made it. Closing time means signing the papers, grabbing your keys, and walking into your brand new home. One of the perks of new construction is the warranties that come with it. Now, one thing that I do love about the home builders here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I don't know if this is true for the entire state of Texas, I believe it is, but don't quote me on that. And I don't know certainly if it's true for other states, but we basically have what we call a 1-2-10. That's a warranty that's going to cover 1 year for essentially anything and everything that goes wrong with the house. Now, obviously, if you punch a hole in the wall, they're not going to come fix your drywall mishap, but they should cover just about everything within that first year. What I suggest people to do is get a third-party inspection. Again, they'll fix every single one of the issues on that third-party inspection, and then when it comes around to that 1 year mark again, get another third-party inspection and determine if there's anything additional that the builder has to fix. Because that first full year, there's nothing that a builder should turn around and say no to unless it was, as I mentioned before, done solely from you. Now, moving on to the 2 and 1-2-10, that's going to be anything behind the walls. I mean, we're talking electrical issues, maybe plumbing issues, anything that's likely going to cost you a significant amount in a pre-owned home if you've got to fix any kind of electrical or plumbing issues on an older home. But the first 2 years on a new build, really anywhere in Texas, as long as they have a 1-2-10, should cover all electrical and plumbing for the first 2 years. And last but not least, our favorite thing in the state of Texas, and that's going to be our foundation. foundations on essentially any home in Texas will eventually settle and move. I think I have a handful of homes and almost every single one of them has had foundation work done at some point, but most of those are 30 or 40 years old. So of course, over 30 to 40 years, you're gonna need some foundation adjustments on those types of houses. But on a new build home, you can essentially rest assured for at least a decade over the course of maybe the next 10 years. And for the most part, homes are only owned about 8 years. So really over the course of the next decade, you've got that very comfortable feeling knowing that, hey, if this house settles at all, I'm gonna be covered from the builder. So yes, that 1, 2, 10, that 10 is specifically stating for any and all things foundation related or settling, the builder should cover. And that basically sums up all new construction homes here, guys, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I do have to give a little bit of tidbit here. I did build the very house that I'm filming this YouTube video in back in 2020, really from the ground up. I chose a lot and designed the entire thing all on my own. Also, in addition to the very house that I built here, I also built a home in Florida towards the second half of 2022. And in addition to that, I also built a massive cabin up in Oklahoma. Now, all three of those are in different states, but I have a ton of experience building homes. And even above and beyond all three of those, I actually have a lot right now in Southlake, Texas, under contract, set to close very soon, that I'm gonna be building my custom dream house in, again, Southlake, Texas. So my experience with new build communities, my experience in just building homes is extensive. So if you are looking for an agent to represent you, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Now, if you are watching this video all the way to the end and you don't have a YouTube login, in the description below will be all of my social media that you can reach out to me directly, or my point of contact that you can give me a text or give me a call. I would love to be able to help you not just purchase a new build home here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but purchase a good home that's going to be a solid investment for the long haul. Thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help. And stay tuned for the next video.